Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another wonderful day. And I'm really stoked to bring you a special guest, a real PG born and raised entrepreneur that I've been seeing dropping dubs left and right. And for any of the people viewing the show, you're going to gain a lot of fire information about this dude. And I really can't wait for everyone to check his story out. But real quickly, my name is Alvin Adriano, your host today on Celebrating Filipino Entrepreneurs. This platform was created to highlight some of the most innovative, fearless, and dynamic entrepreneurs have created a path of success for themselves, but also while creating a conduit for others to succeed. Through their narratives and dedication to achieve, they've been able to inspire so many other people. And so we really want to highlight them and give them the due props. If you are watching this live, please hashtag live. And if you're watching this on the replay, definitely hashtag replay. And wherever you're watching from, please let us know in the comments and let us know what hometown you're representing. Before I get into our special guest, I do want to do a quick shout out to our last interviewee, Miss Kat Aniba from Halo Halo with Kat Aniba on KCSI TV LA 18. She was a trailblazer, a Filipina who started long when MySpace was still going on, and she became an originator and showcased the Asian American perspective through, especially for Filipinos. Her contributions in journalism and media were only there to create opportunities for others to follow. And for any young Filipino or even Filipina that ever had the dream to join other industries, this was an opportunity. It was a call to action to take advantage of opportunities and take control of your life. But today, I have a young man who's writing his story. He's inspired by his parents and wanted to reach and create a business that would give back to his community. He is a close family friend and someone who I know can continue to inspire others toward entrepreneurship. He's driven by success and resilient to change, and is supported by a great following in the DMV area. He's expanding his reach and network across Washington, D.C. area. And so instead of rambling on more about Jeremy, let me tell you a little bit about his bio. So he's an aspiring entrepreneur, about 32 years young, the CEO of Auntie T Boba and part owner of Supreme Barbecue, a former 10-year vet in the medical field at Howard University Hospital. But he was quick to change. He started to pursue his passion and became a licensed barber. And while barbering, opportunities led to the inception of Auntie Boba. He was able to grow his business using the existing restaurant, and it has just been an amazing story for him. So I'd like to welcome, so everyone please smash those heart buttons and let's go ahead and give Mr. Jeremy Conless a well-due respected introduction. Let me bring him on. Jeremy, what's going on, brother? Can you hear me?
Hey, yep, loud and clear. How's everyone doing?
Glad to be well, my friend. Doing well. How's where are you at right now, or are you in the office?
I'm at home in Bowie, Maryland. Yeah, this is where I reside.
Awesome, man. See, so yeah, I mean, I just talked about your bio and what it is that you do, but in your own words, how would you describe what is, your progression or your development, or what's your story?
So I'm new to this whole entrepreneur world. Just as of 2 years ago, I became a full-time barber, like what Alvin mentioned. And I was formerly at Howard University Hospital. I was a biomedical engineer technician. I worked there for 10 years. It was a great job, built great connections, and I worked diligently there. But I was also doing what I loved, which was cutting hair. Cutting hair, barbering, I've been doing since I was 16 years old. And I was doing both. And then I finally went to barber school and I got my license.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few years in, I stepped into Friendly Barbershop, a well-known barbershop. Actually, the first place I got my haircut as a kid, maybe even Alvin as well. Everyone in this area knows where Friendly Barbershop, or who at least they know who works there. Shout out to Friendly Barbershop and all the barbers there. Uncle Pete, Uncle Adore, Lola Ray, and Uncle Alex. Those are my guys. Can't wait to join you again once this paternity is over. But I was a full-time barber, and I jumped ship about 2 years ago, and like what Alvin mentioned, I had the opportunity to open up Auntie Boba inside our existing restaurant, and then one thing led to another, um, and now we're here today. We have 3 locations, and we're also running a barbecue restaurant along with Auntie Boba. And yeah,
It's awesome. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's not the typical route that most people follow. When we say people are entrepreneurs, they follow against the grain. It really shows how different your lives can be, but yet you can still reach success in a variety of routes. And so for you, you mentioned about barbering, that being a passion. What about this type of public service that you're doing, that you're reaching out and talking to people, having a relationship? How important is that to you?
oh, it's very important. I mean, I think that's why I love barbering so much. You just have an impact on that person that's sitting in my chair, as well as in the medical field. Helping patients, now helping clients, and then now with Auntie Boba helping customers. I think I've always had that niche of just wanting to help somebody. I'm a people person, and I'm a people pleaser. So with barbering, you just had all those aspects in one. You build the relationship, and they trust you. You really have to build that trust. Not everyone just wants to come in and out, get a quick fade or whatever, but they invest their time in you, their money, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think having just that foundation really builds that type of bond. But it's really important. It's really important in any stream of work. I feel having that camaraderie with somebody is very important.
No, you're totally right. As I work in the service industry as well, and just dealing with so many people, you have to have that passion to help, empathy to talk to people and really discuss what it is. And so, when you said barbering, again, that's not a normal route for people to do. But again, passion is something that people don't really take advantage of. People are very passionate about a lot of things, but they sometimes put it on the shelf because
Right.
they don't know how to monetize it. And that's really where like your opportunities came, because like you said, it just fell into your lap and things just started rolling for you.
Right.
And so yeah, I really think that's an important fact that you dropped, so thank you for that.
Yeah, so I was working in Howard for 10 years,
Uh-huh.
and then I finally got my license. I was doing both for 4 years. So I was working a 9 to 5,
Mhm.
6 a.m. to 2:30. And my first client would be at 3 p.m. and I'd be there till 7. So I was working for 4 years over 12-hour shifts,
Mhm.
5 days a week. So the whole hard work, perseverance definitely came into play during that time. But that those were the hard years. You go through your battles of, should I even do this, or why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard?
Yeah.
But eventually things will always pay off. So I was doing both for about 4 years, and then I got married, and then I grew a backbone with my wife, and I jumped ship. The grass isn't always greener,
Mhm.
but you can make it green.
Yep, you can make it green. And congratulations. I know you welcomed a beautiful young girl within like a month. So,
Yeah,
you
have
know,
coffee.
so yeah, a lot of wins and successes for you. And it's great because, that's what we need more. Young Filipino entrepreneurs reaching out and trying to find, just different ways of success. And it's important that we highlight them just to be able to support them, especially with their goals, because you also talked about providing opportunity to your community. And I know in your bio, this is like the first job for many young Filipinos, so they can get not only work and pay, but to build a culture of success so they can see how to do it themselves. How important is it for you to give back to the community?
It's very important. Without the community, then we don't have anything. We need the community for their support, their love. It's almost like without them, then, like I said, we would have nothing. And building that foundation in the youth, I think, is very pivotal, especially as the next generation comes.
And the reason why I say that is because your I guess your focus on personality and working at the barbershop, investing your time into people, I think that played a part in your development as creating your following for Auntie Boba, because they know what type of person you are. And that's what people do. People do business with people that they trust, that they understand. And I think that plays a major part on who you are and what your company represents. And so that's a really good highlight of how you've been able to grow your business, again, like organically with following. So you're pretty young. You're what, 32 years old, right?
32. Yeah, as of last month.
All right. So, that's an impressive age, like getting into entrepreneurship and trying and basically taking that leap of faith. It takes a lot. And so could you describe the feeling when you knew you were going to be an entrepreneur, or was it just like, walk us through the experience of when you knew you're not going to do a 9 to 5, you're going to be motivated and be successful this way?
So it was always, I feel, in the back of my mind, even at a young age. I was never the cookie cutter, the rule book, I never really followed, I guess you can say, the black and white. I always pushed my limits. I'll use analogies from sports and basketball because I like to do those things as well. But I've always had entrepreneurship. I wouldn't even say entrepreneurship. I always just felt like I could make it without having a 9 to 5. And I feel like just having that thought in the back of your head over time and over the years, it'll just increase. And like I told you earlier, I was working a 9 to 5 for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't the cookie cutter way of just going straight into it, but I had to build it. So I was doing barbering along with working the 9 to 5, and then eventually barbering, which was my passion and my side gig, was overcame and was profitable enough, and I would be able to financially support my family with just barbering alone. So I definitely had to push through that. It wasn't smooth. I had to wake up really early for my 9 to 5, and I had to stay late in the barbershop. So I definitely had to put my time in, but I didn't see it as I have to do this. I have to persevere through this. It was all really out of just love for doing it. Wanting to help others. I feel like you have to have that endurance, but at the same time, you have to have a mindset of doing what you love. Because why would you do it, right?
Yeah, I think that's what people are dealing with now, mental warfare in their head, because they don't like what they do, but it gives them a sense of security or fulfillment when they're going to work, whatever it is that you're looking for. But for entrepreneurs who are yearning for success, and they want to have the freedom, the freedom of making decisions based on their time and monetizing that. It does take dedication and hard work, and those are the testaments of what people will have to deal with just in anything. I mean, even for you, you talk about your struggles now, but Auntie Boba opened in 2019, right?
Yep.
So we had a great year 2019, and then 2020 comes with. What were the obstacles that you had to deal with just from opening, then through the pandemic, and then now after the pandemic? Like, how have those obstacles changed, and what have you done?
Oh man, it's been a heck of a year for everybody. But especially for those that are in the restaurant industry and the service industry, not just restaurant, but in the service industry, period. It was tough. For Auntie Boba, for Gigi's Kitchen, for Supreme Barbecue, with the pandemic, we definitely had to stay on our toes. We didn't want to be that company that folded. So we tried to do everything we can with the rules and the laws that we had to abide by, try to fit into the gray areas as much as we can. But it was really being a chameleon in those times and really kind of shifting as needed. So in the beginning, with the pandemic, things closing down, we actually took a day out of our 7 daily openings, and we closed Mondays. We just opened again 7 days a week at Gigi's Kitchen, our first location for Auntie Boba as well, this past Monday. So it's just now starting to unfold and open back up, I think 100%. But I mean, the challenges we face, oh man, from staffing, from the staff not being wanting to work because they're afraid to get COVID, or maybe they didn't want to bring COVID back to their parents, to their household. So with inventory, a lot of things were delayed, so we wouldn't have inventory to last us through a week. So we had to figure out ways where we can get certain things, certain ingredients elsewhere, to where we were used to getting them. Deliveries not coming on time. Oh man, the list goes on and on. But like I said, we just tried to stay motivated. We were trying to help the community as much as we can. We try to stay motivated and try to do everything in our power to really push through the hard times and just continue to serve the community as much as we can, because a lot of people weren't going into work. So they were supporting local, which helped us a lot. Like going back to the community, without the community, we're nothing. The community definitely stood behind us with supporting local. And it actually, like, COVID was like a blessing and a curse, to be honest, for us. We definitely gained a lot of traction during COVID, because instead of the community eating in DC, where a lot of people in Fort Washington work because it's close to the city, they're eating local. So instead of having lunch downtown, they're having lunch in Fort Washington. Local eateries. So a lot of the local restaurants, I think, felt that. We truly did. We were seeing a lot of unfamiliar faces coming through the door, a lot of takeout orders. So the community definitely was behind us during COVID, and yeah, we truly thank them for that.
No, that's awesome. And you're right. That this is where this platform was created, to provide an online type of community for also entrepreneurs to understand. Like, we understand what you're going through. It takes a lot, and what you were mentioning before, motivation. How do you ramp yourself up? When COVID hit, it was in 3 weeks, like the whole world stopped, and then it continue on, and you never know when. I'm glad now that we're in the recovery. Things are opening up. Mask mandates are coming off. Things are starting to look like normal. But how do you motivate yourself to get through those types of times? When you said about like determination and resilience, what's your mindset? What do you think?
Motivation, it comes in a lot of aspects. Of course, your family, your surroundings, your friends also can motivate you, but it's really just having to do it. I think being an entrepreneur and not having that 9 to 5, that guaranteed check coming every 2 weeks, not having that type of security, it definitely keeps you up and keeps you on edge about what you're going to do and how you can make things better in all aspects of your life. Because you always, you don't want to just engulf in just one thing and that's all you do, right? So it's all about finding that balance, finding that structure that works for you, but really learning yourself, and everyone's motivation is different, so I can't necessarily pinpoint, but for me, it's definitely like my family and just wanting to better myself every day in all aspects of life.
No, that's great. I mean, that's what, people have to motivate themselves. They have to find what motivation really have that incites them to feel fulfillment.
Right.
Whether it's, like security, family, opportunity, whatever it is. But it's important for us to understand like what drives people, because, if you can't motivate yourself to move on past obstacles, it's going to be a difficult decision in entrepreneurship, because you can't ever plan for anything. Things just pop off and you have to adjust, and that's just how it is.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about more about what it is that you're getting into now. You just opened up 2 locations, right?
Yep.
And where are they located?
So we just opened up one in Washington, D.C., 2 Florida Avenue, Northeast, Washington, D.C. We just opened up a Supreme Barbecue / Auntie Boba, partnered with my father on that one. Shout out to him. Without him, none of this would be even possible. He's a great motivator of mine. And I really look up to him as far as like work ethic. Having him around, just a quick shout out to Dad. But with just seeing him and his work ethic, I honestly feel like I don't do anything compared to him. So he's definitely a good role model to follow. And so our location we just opened up last month in DC, and we opened up a 3rd location of Auntie Boba and rebranding our old barbecue spot here in Lanham, Maryland.
Awesome. And that's going to expand your reach, your network, the potential to see your branding. And I love the branding. Auntie Boba. I think it's really quick and easy to think about. But yeah, that's going to be great for you guys, because that's what we need to see. We need to be able to see more visible success stories like yourself, especially in the DMV or PG County area, because it's important. Those are the things that we have to support as local businesses. And I had an interview yesterday with the Consul General JV from Washington, D.C., and he made it a point that shopping local, shopping in Filipino-owned helps us in so many ways, just by referral. It's not even just buying the product, it's just referring us or just telling people about that. And that's why it's visibility and exposure is so much more important now more than ever.
Right.
So I know development in any entrepreneur's Rolodex of talents, you're always going to have to learn how to do something. There's always something that happens, and for us, we're always trying to find ways to save money, and so we tend to learn it ourselves. Is there any new self-development that you did over the pandemic that really led to you to continue building your success?
Oh yeah, I think self-development comes on a daily basis. Besides, working out and going to the gym.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of mentality, having that mindset. But we all go through our struggles, and we also have those hurdles that we have to overcome, and we also feel overwhelmed a lot of the times, right? But one of my mentors, I was talking to him, and I was feeling overwhelmed with opening the new DC location. DC it's a different type of demographic.
Yep.
Where it's just a different ball game when it comes to being in the city, right? So I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, but I was speaking to one of my mentors, and he was telling me everything is temporary. Everything is temporary as far as the struggles and the overwhelming feeling. So I feel like that once he told me everything is temporary, that really helped me overcome a lot of the things. And right there was an example of self-development.
Yeah.
Because I took it into account and I changed it a little bit and put it in different aspects. Life itself is temporary. So, why not carry on and try to do as much as you can while you're here?
Yeah, no, you again, great knowledge that you're letting all of our viewers know. I'd like to add on is just it's an important word that a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize. It's the word yet. Yet is such a powerful word, because Michael Jordan, he got cut from his sophomore days in high school, right?
Right.
So he didn't know how to play then. He wasn't good enough yet. When he played for the Bulls, it took him 6 years before he even won a championship. So he wasn't good enough yet. But he didn't get traded. He didn't ask for a trade. He built his crew up. And then all of a sudden now he's talked about as the greatest of all time. But he wasn't there yet. It's not characteristic that defines it. It's not our faults or successes. It's what you keep doing and continuously grow, because you haven't reached your potential yet.
Correct.
As long as you keep climbing, keep reaching, and you keep developing, you're going to reach higher and higher goals. And that's what's important for all entrepreneurs to know, especially yourself, who's coming out and really finding themselves in this local presence, that we would love to give you not only an area kind of response, but also a national. We have a lot of people watching all over the country. And so, yeah, coming down to Washington, D.C., he has 3 locations in D.C., Maryland, and Upper Maryland, where you can stop by and definitely support. And if you really appreciate what Jeremy's doing, I invite all of our guests or viewers who are watching or catching on the replay to hashtag Auntie Boba so we can reach out and make sure that we connect you so that next time you're in the area, you can stop by. So yeah, Jeremy, I mean, we covered a lot of stuff as far as, like your obstacles and your success stories. Would you have any advice for aspiring entrepreneurs, like deciding on the fence, like, hey, like I think I can do this. I want to get into it. What words would you tell them, about before they jump into it?
I would definitely tell them to go shoot for the stars, right? If you shoot for the stars and you give it your 100%, that's all you can do, right? Just try your best, and you won't live with that regret of never trying. I think just trying will answer a lot of the questions that play in their head, as far as jumping ship and doing the thing that they love. But again, be ready. Be ready and stay on your toes and stay resilient, stay consistent, and you'll grow. You'll grow, and that day will come. That'll define your success.
Awesome, man. For all the viewers who are watching, do you have any social handles or websites or anything that they can follow so they can find you on these platforms?
Yeah, so you can follow us at Gigi's Kitchen on Instagram, GIGI __ Auntie Boba is AUNTEABOBA on Instagram as well. And Supreme Barbecue is Supreme _BBQ_ all on Instagram. And yeah, you could also get a haircut. J Can Cuts. I forgot.
And let's talk about your shirt. I know you mentioned it earlier.
Yes, All Rise.
What is that all about?
All Rise is a brand. It's a campaign that me and my friends started. Me and my family, I should say, building and bridging the community and culture. So it's definitely a supportive, a positive brand, and it's just all rise, uplift everybody, just as what Alvin is doing today, expressing and broadcasting all the Filipino entrepreneurs. So All Rise is a brand where we just support everybody.
Awesome, man. Yeah, like again, you just find ways, opportunities, take advantage, and just figure out ways to produce more. And a lot of people don't understand, like when you become an entrepreneur, you just don't do one thing, you do multiple things because you make an impact on so many people's lives that it just feels good. And it's a testament to what you're doing and how you're able to influence people around you. So it's awesome, man. So yeah, I mean, it's people like you I love to highlight and put on the show because you don't understand entrepreneurship until you go through all these obstacles. After this pandemic, all the businesses that are able to survive, they're going to have a lot more confidence because this is really one of the worst times of any kind of commerce. I mean, you were talking about supply chains,
Right.
and then remarketing, finding new demographics, staffing, HR problems. These are like the realities of life that people don't understand. It's not always success stories. There's a lot of failures in it, and you just learn to take each step at a time, and you get to a point where you've had enough failures and you only know how to succeed.
Right.
So yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on the show and just talking a bit about what your story was. Any final thoughts?
Man, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. Hopefully people could, take into consideration what we discussed today. And if you are trying to leap over to the entrepreneur life, definitely go ahead full force, and I hope someone can benefit from this show today.
So awesome, Jeremy. Take care. I really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Yeah, hugs and kisses to your wife and to your new daughter. Parenthood is the best way for you to connect and pass on your legacy. Like I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I know you came from one. And those are the best things that we can teach to our children, how to make their own money, how to take control of their lives. And so I'm glad that you were able to come join with us and spend a couple minutes, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Alvin.
So yeah, guys, I'm so thankful that Jay was really out here to drop some knowledge and really let us know what it felt to be a new entrepreneur. His story is so inspiring because, again, he started in 2019, had to deal with the pandemic, and as a young entrepreneur, those are traits that we want to show people because it just takes determination and resilience. Local success stories like Jeremy are like the essence of why we support local Filipino businesses, just supporting individuals who are paying it forward and inspiring others to be in projecting their voice and having their voices heard. You know, look in the case in California with Rob Bonta, a Filipino who's now the Attorney General for California. It's empowering others and providing motivation to create their own paths. So good luck to Jeremy, and I can't wait to visit one of his locations soon. You know, summer's here, and I can't wait to dial down some tapioca balls. But yeah, I really appreciate all the viewers and all the listeners who spend a little time of your day with us, and I hope you heard some positive insight and knowledge about what you can do to take control of your future. I hope each one of you really find your passions in life and make a future for yourself. I created this platform to be a highlight for individuals who break out of the norm and find what's important to them. And I ask all of our viewers, if you know someone or a business or just who has a great story to tell, please get in contact with me. I'm always looking for the next inspiring entrepreneur to give visibility and exposure, but most of all, to inspire me to keep motivating myself for success. Next week, I'll be bringing out a very great guest. He's an old friend of mine in Virginia Beach. His name is Alvin Lapitan. We'll be talking about his development into the health space, where he opened up his new gym, Iron Asylum. So he'll be here next week on Wednesday, May 25th. It'll be at 2 p.m. East Coast time or 11 a.m. Pacific time. It will be right here on Celebrating Filipino Entrepreneurs. So yes, thank you again. My name is Alvin Adriano, an entrepreneur, an advocate for the Filipino community, and I would just love for you guys to come back next week. So you guys take care. Till next time. Peace out.